G'day Carbonites, welcome back to Space Engineers Survival Maybe. So today we're just gonna throw some details around the base and just tackle some smaller things. In between episodes I did a couple of mining runs just to grab some iron, and I grabbed a little bit of nickel and, you know, general things that we needed. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a stockpile of resources, and actually, yeah, we're looking pretty good. So I put these pipes up in between episodes, and the idea was obviously just to add a little bit more detail to it, but I'm indifferent as to whether I like them or not. They do add detail, which is great, but I feel like they take away from the futuristic design that I was going for. I feel like it gives it more of an industrial feel, so I'm not sure. I might actually remove those, but I'll see what you guys say, because you guys normally have a pretty good opinion. Okay, so this is one of the things I want to try and set up. This is just a temporary thing, obviously. So we've got a couple of scripts here. This one is inventory manager. No, inventory viewer. I think it's this one here. Yeah, inventory viewer. And it's like, it's exactly what it says. Like, it's exactly what the name is, inventory viewer. So this first one I've set up to show what's in the refineries, which is something I haven't been able to do with any other scripts, because for example, like it says we have no magnesium ore in the system, and that's because it's all sitting in the refinery. So it's nice to have both, access to both, basically. So I can see what's in the cargo system and what's in the refineries currently. And this one is set up for the assembler. So currently there's nothing in there. That's because we have got 30,000 steel plates. First time all the assemblers have actually turned off because we have everything. That's actually pretty cool. This secondary script here is M-Master's automatic LCD screens, I think. I'm sure it is. Automatic LCD 2, actually. But basically, this is an amazing script. Holy shit. I was looking at like all the things you can do with it, and anything you can think of, you can basically do it. I'm just doing something simple here, just showing what we've got in the LCO storage, which is just ingots and ore. So it lists all the ingots, and then it also has the ores running down the side there as well, which is really, really cool. And then we've got an overall cargo capacity for that container. So yeah, I'm thinking we do something like this setup somewhere. I don't know. It might be useful to have it here, because this seems to be our main area that we go to check the status of everything. So yeah, I might leave it here. Well, I'll move it around a little bit just so it's, and we definitely need to move these, but yeah. That's pretty cool. Let's head on up. Okay, so you guys absolutely love this place. I can't believe the response I got. It was really, really cool waking up and seeing all those comments. Alright, so there was a really good suggestion to add some warning lights, similar to what we have with the battery receiving station door. And the idea was to try and make it like a siren type light where they spin around. And I think we could probably achieve that with rotors and converting it to a small grid. So maybe if we go here, yeah, that would be a good spot. And here. Okay. Oh, I just had another thought. What if we had these things on pistons that slide down into view and then they slide back up into the roof when they're finished, so they're not so intrusive? Yeah, that's a good idea. It's going to make this a little bit more challenging, but I think it'll be worth it. So we'll do a large grid piston with a large grid rotor attached to it. That's probably going to have difficulty. Oh, the piston doesn't need to, I mean the rotor doesn't need to slide into this gap though. We only need the small grid. Yeah, we could do this. Let's make a little bit of room here. Although we should probably have one piston to control both of them. Alright, I'm going to clear out some space. Okay. So we would go with... Oh yeah, it's not going to be in the middle. That's alright, no one's going to see it. Yeah, so if we have one piston that controls both the lights, I think that'd be cool. Okay, that looks good. We're going to have to clear a bit more room up the top. Okay, so essentially what I'm thinking is we do rotors underneath here. Alright, so we take these large rotor parts off and we'll attach small rotor heads to it. Alright, so we'll do that now. Rotor, and it's going to be this one and this one by the looks of it. We will need to share inertia tensor on and add small head. Okay, so we need to build this in a way where this is the closed state that it's currently in. The piston's not going to go. Oh no, this needs to be the open state. So it needs to actually go down lower. That will probably do it, I reckon. All right, so currently I'm just making the housing for the lights. So we could actually do 4 lights on it, but I want to try 2 and see how that looks. Because that's how most sirens look in real life. They have 2 light sources from either side. But we'll see how it looks. We might change it. Okay, and we're going to come down a little bit further. Let's do one more block. And I do want another light on here. Followed by blast door sections. Yeah, they're 5 by 5. A large block. So that's not going to work. Oops. Okay, blast door edge. This actually looks too big for the hole. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work. And lastly, we're going to throw some corner pieces on here. Wow. All right, that looks good. Okay, let's have a look at the control panel. Can we access one where we can see it? Actually, I can do it with Shift K. I can use my broadcasting, right? Shift K, terminal, spotlights. Okay, so it is these 3 here, these purple ones. Number 3 is the bottom one. Yeah, so we want to change this to our normal color that we do. Yep, that's all good. And then these 2 here are going to be the red warning lights. So this is 55 green and 0 blue. That's the same red that I used in the cavities where the modules are. Okay, and then we want to go to rotor. Okay. It is good, except when this thing spins around, it hits the blast door, which I should have seen coming. Okay, so how can we save this so I don't need to rebuild it? So what I want to do is just move it to here instead. All right, now we are good to go. Spotlights, number 3. That's the bottom one? Yeah, okay, cool. So this one needs to be 225. And then both of these two need to be that red. And let's go for the rotor. Now it's rotor 3. Now let's set up the piston first. So piston 6. We want to find out how far we need to move it to get that to go up into the thing, which might be like maybe 1 block, which should be we'll say 2 meters for now. We'll try that. Oh, it's close. 2.2. .5. Must be hitting on something. Have a look. Yes. Alright, how's that look? Yeah, that's too far. Alright, so you can see where I'm going with this. We're gonna hide that hole that we're putting in the roof. Let's go back to piston. And we will reduce its maximum distance. We'll try 2.2 again. We'll have to reverse it to get it to pop out. 2.2 is too far. Let's try 2. Oh, that looks pretty nice. Yeah, so that beveled edge just meets up with that corner there. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice. Okay, let's set up some buttons here. So where's that? Piston 6 it is. There it is. So if we extend it, well, actually that's lowering it. It lowers it down. Then we also need to spin the rotor. How can we do that? Because I will need this to stop eventually. Because it will need to be lined up square again before the piston goes up. So, because we could easily just give the rotor like a velocity and just make it spin around, which is the idea I'm going for. The trouble is, when it comes time to stop that and retract the piston, it needs to line up with 0. So I can slide back into that group. Into the hole on the roof. What happens if we turn off that rotor. So turning it off will, it stops any sort of torque that it can apply. So it eventually just stops spinning. I wonder if the beveled edge of the blast door edge will actually force it to line up square again as it gets pulled back in. Did that just... no way. Did that just stop it? Oh, it's pretty fucking close. Alright, let's try it. So it retracts. Yeah, it did. Nice. We might not even have to. Alright, let's retract that again, or extend it, whatever. Rotor. Rotor 3, we'll turn it on so it starts spinning again. We need to make it like a worst case scenario. So if it was at a 45-degree angle, that would be the worst case. So let's set that up real quick. We will set a upper limit of 45 degrees. Turn it off. Okay, so we'll just say that that's how it stopped after it was spinning. Now what will the piston do? It will get stuck. Okay. So we are going to need to force it to go square somehow. All right, I'm going to have a think about this and see if I can find a way for it to not have a limit while it's spinning, but when it comes time to retract it, we can set a limit. All right, I think I've got it, guys. So I found a script that will help us. It is Twinkie's rotor controller. There it is. Twinkie's rotor controller. All right, so with that one, all you've got to do is put the name of the rotor in here. Compile it and run it with the argument of the angle that you want the rotor to stop at. So this will create a limit for our rotor, and then what we can do is we can use just the regular button to increase the limit. So we can increase it back up to unlimited so it'll spin. So we'll automate this process, but basically the piston will come down, the limit will get changed to unlimited, which will make it spin, and then when it comes time to stopping it, we will run this with the argument which will stop it, and then we can retract the piston again. So we'll automate all that process so it all happens, you know, in the correct timing. But that's how we're gonna do it. All right, so yeah, that's gonna be cool. That'll allow us to do what we want to do, and then we get that flashing siren light when the doors are opening. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. I like it. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll get this one set up now, and then we'll automate it. We're gonna have to put 2 more on the opposite side as well. so you can see the lights if you're heading outside as well. Also, I should probably turn off these lights when they're not needed as well, just so we don't get the red glow coming through. But we'll handle all that when we set up the automation. All right, so I'm actually going to put these lights in the opposite direction. So these ones are forward and backwards. These ones are going to be left and right. I think it'll look better if they're offset while they're spinning around. I don't think it would look as good if they were in sync. So we'll try this. We can always change it around if we need to. We'll see how this goes. Alright, got them all set up. We're just gonna add the other rotor in here. I'm just going to paste the name here. Actually, because I've changed the name of the rotor. So we'll do that, and then we will add the second one. So copy that. And it is front left. All right, let's try it. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think having them offset is definitely the way to go. Yeah, that looks cool. This kind of looks like we've got a fucking disco going on in here. That's all right. It's not much of a warning. People see the doors opening and they think it's party time. Okay, so then we can run this script, which will stop them. Then we can reverse the piston. This one looks a little bit weird. No, it's all right. All right, cool. Yeah, so we definitely have to turn off the lights for sure. And we will have to put this programmable block down in the server room. Should probably do that now, actually. What I'll do to make this easier is I will select all of that, copy, and then I can just paste it in the new one. All right, cool. So we don't need this or this. Let's go down and set those up. Okay, set up actions. So what we want to do when the door opens, we need the piston. Where's the spotlights? We're gonna turn on the lights. And extend the piston for the warning lights to get those down. So we will extend it. No, retract it. We need to wait for this to get all the way down to the bottom before it starts spinning the rotors though. So we might have to trigger another timer. Because if we try to spin the rotors while it's still in there, it'll most likely get jammed. Could just speed up the pistons, that might work. Yeah, we'll try and do it like that. Okay, so we do that, we do that. We also want to increase the upper limit of those rotors, so that'll start them spinning up. And then finally open the doors. After that, we need to start another timer to turn all that stuff off. So this is getting confusing very quickly. Okay, so this one, after 20 seconds, we are going to turn off the lights. So spotlights, warning lights, yep, turn those off. We want to then run the script for the programmable block to stop the rotors from spinning. I haven't renamed it. It's this one here. So we want to run this with an argument of 359. And then we want to retract the piston for the warning lights. No, we want to extend it. That gets it in its closed position. This is all very confusing. I'm sorry. It'll be worth it though. Okay, that should be good. Okay, let's rename this to TB Air Hangar Blast Door Stop Cycle. And then this one here is Blast Door Start Cycle. And we want to trigger that stop cycle timer block. This one here, but we want to use the start, not the trigger now, because we want to use that delay of 20 seconds. Okay, so that should be everything there. I'm just going to rename this really quickly. Okay. We should be good to go. Hopefully. First, let's get rid of all this crap. Okay, now the only things we need are timer blocks. We want start cycle, which is open. We want to trigger that now. Actually, it's not going to work the way I had intended. Because they're going to get out of sync. Basically, we can do that. After 20 seconds, it'll all stop and the warning lights will go back up into the roof. There it is. Now that's all well and good, but if we do that again, I don't think that's going to work. Oh no, it is going to work, yeah. So it's only the blast doors that are actually reversing their cycle. Everything else is set on a proper loop. That's really cool. Yeah, it definitely looks like disco balls. I don't care. It's a unique, over-engineered way to do some warning lights. I like it. All right, I think we're going to leave it there, guys. I feel good about that. We accomplished what we had set out. I'm not sure how long the video is, but I think that'll do. All right, guys, that is going to do it. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to lead your targets, and I'll see you next time.